So I was talking to one of our players the other day, and the parent was asking me for some advice, essentially to do with the new team coach that they got. So this coach's approach was that, or is that, they design and plan everything. So they don't want the players doing any extra training outside of what they have planned for them, so that they know that what training the players have done, and then everything else outside of that, they're literally just resting and recovering. So obviously this player has reached out to me for help with becoming stronger, fitter, faster, and they're not currently doing that with their team. So we want to add this element into their training, which is why they've come to me for help. So what we do is we provide all of the strength condition training that the player does outside of their team sessions. So they do them at home, or if they've got access to a gym, they can do the sessions at the gym as well. So it's just a few times per week. As part of that, we have a pitch session which needs to be done each week, and the best time to do that, I always recommend, is if you've got a bit of space next to where you've done a team session, so you can stay for 10-15 minutes afterwards, or get there a little bit earlier, and you can do those short, sharp exercises. That's a great time to do it because you're already at a facility, you're already warm. Best time to do it. So they had done that for one of the stamina sessions, and essentially the coach had approached them and said that they didn't want them doing anything outside of what they already have planned for them. So they're asking me for some advice around this, because obviously they've seen the benefits of doing the strength conditioning stuff. They now got this new coach in, and he's advising that they don't do any additional stuff. He's got everything planned for them, which doesn't include the S&C stuff, because he's not putting as much of an emphasis on that. So here's what I say in relation to that. For me, if you want to be better than your teammates and other players, you need to be, one, doing something different, which everyone's doing the same thing in team sessions. So what are you doing to develop yourself in a different way, or in different ways, or in a further way outside of those sessions? So that's the first thing. But also, you've got to think about what is the constant throughout a player's career. The constant thing is you, okay? Coaches will come and go. So if you solely rely on the quality of the coaching that you have to, for your development and how far you go, then I think that's quite a big risk. So that's why I always recommend the approach. And my belief is that a player should have their own training that they're doing aside from the team training, and that's going to be constant throughout their whole career. Okay, so they're doing extra things that they're not quite covering in the team sessions and that other players aren't doing, and just focusing on things that they want to improve on, areas outside of what they're doing in the team sessions. And then you've always got that constant. So no matter if you get a new coach and you think they're brilliant, or perhaps they're not your favourite coach, that's not going to impact your development and your performance level to such a degree compared to if you're putting all your eggs into that one basket and just hoping you have a great coach. So that's my opinion in terms of this. In terms of doing that stamina session that the player was doing, there's other options to try and do it somewhere else so the coach doesn't see them. It's not like they're turning up completely knackered to team sessions. It's not affecting their performance in their team training sessions or matches, and they are feeling the benefits of the S&C stuff that they're doing. So in my opinion, it would be crazy to drop that when you're noticing a difference just because a new coach has come in and says that they're going to be covering everything that you need to be doing. If they're not, especially if they're not as well. So whether it's S&C or the technical side of your game, or even the mindset side, if you've got a great team coach, then that's brilliant. But I would say don't put all your eggs in one basket with that. Have your own training that you're doing alongside that, and that's going to be the one constant, consistent thing throughout your whole football career, which you can fall back on and rely on, no matter how good the quality of the coach is that you've got. Okay, so that's essentially the response I gave to that. So if you find yourself in a similar situation, then hopefully that's just maybe a different way of thinking about things that you haven't thought about before. But yeah, I think it's important that each player has their own stuff that they're doing. Obviously training smart, not just working hard for the sake of working hard. Doing training which is actually, you can see the difference on the pitch. That's really important. Okay, so just wanted to share that with you if you find yourself in a similar situation. I thought that might help you out.